Good morning, students. Students, today I am going to start new topic of matrix. It is elementary operations. The following three operations applied on the rows or columns of a matrix are called elementary row or column transformations or operations. Okay, students. So what are three operations? Take one by one. First one, interchanging of any two rows or columns. Two rows or column can be interchanged. What is interchanging, students? Let us take one example. A equals to, there is a matrix of order 3 by 3. 2, 1, 3, minus 5, 7, 8, 6, 4, minus 9. Now, student, you can see there are three rows. We can interchange any two rows or two columns. Suppose I am going to interchange R2 by I3. So R2 interchange with R3, student. So this sign is the sign of interchanging. So R2 interchanging R3. So R2 and R3 position will be interchanged. At the place of R2, R3 will be there, or at the place of R3, R2 will be there. You can see, student, at the place of R2, I have written R3, 6, 4, minus 9, or at the place of R3, I have written here R2. So this is called interchanging. Okay, students. Similarly, student, we can interchange two columns. Suppose I am going to interchange C1 with C3. So C3 interchange with C3, student, C1. So at the place of C1, C3 will be written, or at the place of C3, C1 will be written. You can see, students, C3 I have written at the place of C1, student, 3, 8, minus 9. Or at the place of C3 I have written C1, 2, minus 5, 6. So this is called interchanging, student. Okay. So by this way we can interchange two rows or two columns. Now come to the second operation, student. Multiplying all elements of a row or column of a matrix by a non-zero scalar. Non-zero scalar means any constant value, student. Okay, so any row or column of a matrix can be multiplied by any non-zero scalar. For example, student, this is A matrix, order 2 by 2. So I want to multiply second row by 2. So R2 tends to 2R2. Okay, it means I am going to multiply R2 by 2. R2 tens means I am going to change R2. That's why R2 tends to is written 2R2. So this operation I am going to apply. I am going to multiply R2 by 2. Okay. So students, B equals to, I have given a new name to this matrix. B equals to, first row will remain as it is. Second row will be multiplied by 2, minus 5 into 2, minus 10, 2 into 2, 4. So by this way we can multiply any row or column. One more example, students. This is a matrix B of order 3 by 3. I want to multiply C1, student. This is C1, column C1 by 3. That's why I have written C1 tends to 3C1. So you can see, students, second row, second column will remain as it is. Third column will remain as it is. And first column is multiplied by 3. 2 3 ja 6, 1 3 ja 3, 4 3 ja 12. So this is second operation. Okay. in this operation we can multiply any row or any column by any constant value, means non-scalar. Now student, third operation, adding to the elements of a row or column the corresponding elements of any other row or column multiplied by any scalar k. Means first row element we can add in second row element after multiplying second row by any scalar. For example students, this is a matrix of order 3 by 3 and I am going to apply R3 tends to R3 plus 3R1. Okay, so I want to change R3, so that's why I have written R3 tends to. R3 is written as it is plus R1 multiplying by 3, then add into R3. Okay, so this is the operation student. So I am going to apply R3 tends to R3 plus 3R1. So this is R3 student. Now this is R1. So what value will be here? 6 plus 3 into minus 2. R1 value minus 2. So it means 6 minus 6. So 0. Because we are going to change R3. So R3 will be changed students. So at the place of 6, 0 will be there. Okay, at the place of 6, 0 will be there. Now students, 4, second element of R3, 4 plus 3 into minus 1. So 4 minus 3 means answer 1. So at the place of 4, 1 will be there. Now students, next element 9. So R3, 9 will come here. 9 plus 3 into minus 3, R1 value. So 9 minus 9, answer 0. So 0 is there. Okay students, so this is the operation. In this operation we can add a row with another row after multiplying another row by any scalar. Okay students, let's take one more example student. E is a matrix of order 3 by 3 and this is the column first, this is the column 2, this is column 3. I want to change column 1, C1. C1 tends to C1 plus minus 2C2. Students, I want to multiply C2 by minus 2. Then I want to add this in C1. Okay. Why we are doing this? Why we are using these operations, students? To make the value simplified. We can change the value according to our requirement. So C1 plus minus 2 C2. So student, you can see C1 value 2 minus 2 plus minus 2 into minus 1. So minus 2 plus 2, 0. Second value of C1 5 plus minus 2 into 2. So 5 minus 4, answer 1. Then third value of C1 minus 3 plus minus 2 into minus 1. So minus 3 plus 2. Minus 3 plus 2 means minus 1. So you can see I changed C1 in 0, 1, minus 1. Okay students. So this is the operation, third student. So there are 3 operations student. First operation, interchanging. Second operation, multiply any row or column by any scalar. Third operation, adding any row to any other row after multiplication of any other row by any scalar. So these are 3 operations students. Now next one is elementary matrix. What is the elementary matrix? Students, a matrix obtained from an identity matrix by a single elementary operation is called an elementary matrix. Okay. After this operation, students, the matrix obtained is called elementary matrix. So students, this is the identity matrix, its order is 3 by 3. So I am going to use first operation, interchanging operation. I am going to interchange R1 with R2. So R1 and R2 are interchanging. So at the place of R1, R2 is there, 0, 1, 0. Or at the place of R2, R1 is written, R1, 0, 0. Third row will remain as it is. So this is elementary matrix. Or now I am going to change, I am going to use one more operation, student, in this. I am going to change R2. Okay. So R2 tends to R2 plus 2R1. This is I am going to apply. So first row is multiplied by 2, then it will be added in R1, R2. So R2 value you can say, student, 1 plus 2 into 0. So 1 plus 0, answer 1. Second row, student, you can see 0, second element 0, 0 plus 2 into 1, 0 plus 2, 2. Third element 0, 0 plus 2 into 0, 0 plus 0 means 0. And R1 and R3 will remain as it is. Okay, student. So this is elementary matrix. Similarly, student, this is also identity matrix. So here I am going to interchange two columns, C3 with C1. So at the place of C1, C3 is written, or at the place of C3, C1 is written. You can see, student. So this is interchanging. Now I am going to use one more operation, student. I want to change C1. So that's why I have written C1 tends to C1 plus minus 3 C3 means I am going to multiply C3 by minus 3. Then I am going to add it in C1. Correct? So let us check the value of C1. 0 plus minus 3 into 1. So 0 minus 3 minus 3. 0 plus minus 3 into 0. 0 plus 0, 0. Third element 1 plus minus 3 into 0. So 1 minus 0, answer 0. 1 minus 0, answer 1. So this is the elementary matrix. Okay, students. Now to the next one, inverse of a square matrix. Students, in chapter 1, we have studied about function, and we have also studied about invertible function. If function is 1, 1 on 2, then it is invertible, then inverse exists, there is only one inverse. By same way, we can find out inverse in matrix. So we can find out inverse of a square matrix only, student, if it is invertible. So suppose A is a matrix of order n, square matrix. A square matrix of order n, if there exists a matrix P, another matrix B, such that AB equals to I equals to BA. Okay, students. AB equals to I, matlab A multiplied by B give us identity matrix. Then B is called inverse of A. Okay. So AB equals to I or BA equals to I. Then B is called inverse of A. So student, AB equals to I equals to BA, then A is said to be invertible and matrix B is said to be inverse of A. Okay, inverse of matrix A is denoted by A to the power -1. This is the sign of inverse. So it is A inverse, student. Okay, A into A inverse. At the place of B I have written A inverse, student, because B is the inverse of A, equals to In equals to A inverse A. So always remember, the product of a matrix with its inverse is always identity matrix. So AB equals to In equals to BA. So B is the inverse of A. So we can write here A inverse equals to B, or we can say B inverse equals to A. Okay students, so this is the inverse. Now students, one theorem is there. Every invertible matrix possesses a unique inverse. Means if a square matrix has an inverse, then it is unique. Means for a matrix there is only one inverse, not two. So how can you prove this? Let A be a square matrix of order n and A is invertible. Let B and C be two inverses of A. Okay, I have taken two inverses. At last we can prove B equal to C. Means both are equal, means there is only one inverse. So students, A is invertible, so we can write AB equals to In equals to BA, because B is the inverse of A, and C is also an inverse of A, so we can write AC equals to In equals to CA. Question 1 and 2. Now I am going to take this part only, AB equals to In. Now pre-multiplying by C, I am going to multiply this by C, student. So C AB equals to CIN. Now I am going to use associative law here, student. So I am going to write CA together, CA and B outside, equal to CIN, and CA equals to IN. You can see, student, here from equation 2 we can put the value of CA. CA equals to IN. So at the place of CA we can write IN. INB equals to CIN. Student, we know that when a matrix is multiplying with identity matrix, then their product is the matrix. So INB equals to B, or CIN equals to C. INB equals to B and CIN equals to C. So B equal to C. So an invertible matrix possesses a unique inverse. Okay students, have a nice day.